All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Sunday Night Charts with Jim of All Trades. Good to see you. Hope you're well. My name's Jim. I'm a crypto trader, Forex trader, here to help you understand the market from an Elliott wave perspective. Hope y'all are doing okay. It's Sunday night, April the 27th. We're going to jump into the Bitcoin analysis, look right at the chart, see what we can see as quickly as possible. I don't think I'm going to belabor this live stream very long. We're going to try to get you the meat right away. With that said, let me just say hello to everybody that said hi to me. What's up, Eddie Bo? Good to see you, buddy. Crypto fever. I got the fever for crypto. Crypto fever. There's Jay. He's from England. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. How's your heart these days, man? Ricky Spanish driving. Keep your eyes on the road, my brother. Keep your eyes on the road. But that's my longtime friend here. Welcome to the live stream, sir. Keith M. All right, don't let me mess up your rhythm while you're running, man. Don't let me mess up your rhythm. We'll see if we can give you some Moon Boy counts as well, Keith, as always. All right, guys. With that said, I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm just here to say hi, and I like Bitcoin, and I'm going to show you what I'm looking at the chart. But I am not a financial advisor, so don't take my thoughts as financial advice. You got to do your own research and learn how to trade and risk your money properly. Risk management is a key to the trading game. I hope you guys understand that. It's not your strategy. I mean, there are better strategies than others, but the strategy is not the important thing. It is your risk management. Do you know how to take a loss? Do you know how to trade with leverage or not trade with leverage? Those are the things you need to be thinking about as a trader. Now, if you're just investing, you want to understand what the market is doing in general. We're going to get you some general analysis, what Bitcoin can be doing. So with that said, let's jump in. What's up, Music Life? I want to say hi to you. You got right in right before I started, so let me make sure I say hi. All right, with that said, let's jump in, guys. I'm going to zoom out, just trying to show you what we're looking at on the 3-day chart, and then we'll go on from there. All right, so from a 3-day perspective, I think what you want to say, what you're looking at here is you're like, okay, all right, we got 5 waves. I mean, this is the way you look at it. You got a 1, you got a 2, you got a 3 to there. There's 4, and this is a wave 5. To see if the 5th wave is done, you generally look for 5 waves in each wave. Like if you look in the 3rd wave, for instance, you can see 5 waves in that, guys. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. So that's something good. That's what we like to see. Now we look in the 5th wave. You say, do you have 5 waves there? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You do have 5 waves. So you've got 5 waves here if you look closely, 5 waves there if you look closely, and 5 waves there if you look closely. 5, 5, 5. 3 pushes of 5s. That, in an Elliott wave perspective, is a finished wave. Best I can tell. If we zoom out to the monthly chart, what you'll notice is that there is what we call divergence. Divergence on the monthly says, hey, listen, let me show you here. Between wave 3 and wave 5, you'll see that there is a higher high in price while there is a lower high in the RSI. And we have something called double divergence present as well. If you look a little bit more carefully, you'll notice that you have divergence right here between this wave, and then this wave and that wave. Finally, on the monthly, you're getting a break of structure. Let me go ahead. We have a break to the downside on structure. Now we are getting a retest here in the RSI. Okay, and that doesn't mean we can't go up and make a higher high from here. It just means, but when we look for evidences of tops, when we look for things, those are things that we're looking. We're looking for overbought conditions. We're looking for divergences to show signs of reversal, and then the break of structure on the RSI. Those are all signs that says, hey guys, this is something to pay attention to. There's a possibility you need to consider strongly that we have reached a top in the count of Bitcoin. Now, there are other ways to look at this wave, and we can certainly talk about that. We're going to talk about that, but from an Elliott wave world, you need to at least sit up and pay attention here that, hey guys, we have some signs of reversal, and you need to consider them and pay attention to them. That doesn't mean with certainty Bitcoin is finished, but certainly there's some evidences that we look for to see, hey, maybe there is. Now, if this is finished. Now we look in the weekly chart, you'll notice that we have divergence between wave 3, okay, and wave 5. Boom, right there. In other words, we have a high in price and then a higher high in price, but a lower high in the RSI. And that is the pattern that we see in a wave, between a wave 4, or excuse me, the top of wave 3 and the top of wave 5. That's a normal pattern. Now, here's the bullish hope. The bullish hope says, hey, listen, that is a 4 and a 5 on the weekly. That is a 4 and a 5, but that's the 4th and the 5th of the third wave. In other words, this right here is the wave 4 of the larger degree, and we are getting ready to pump up and out of here. 150K, here we come. That is the bullish look. That is the bullish count from here. The bullish look says, hey, we're heading up. We're going up, and we're going up to 150 or higher, but I think the 145K is my target. That's been my target quite a while. You go back and look at the titles of my videos from months ago. I've got titles explaining why 145 is my target zone for a potential bullish run. Okay, but that said, we have wave structure that is satisfied and could be finished. So as we look at the macro, you've got to at least respect the concept here that we have a macro finished wave. And now what's happening right now as a possibility is that we have the beginning stages of a 3-wave move to the downside for a W wave, the beginning of a multi-year bear market in which we're going to get a WXY. Generally, that's Bitcoin's trademark. This would be a W wave, looking for the X wave to finish, or the B wave to finish of a 3-wave correction here. Boom, boom, boom. Looking for something like that to finish. Once that's done, looking for that to come down here, hit our lower targets, find some support here, and then we would look for a 3-wave reversal back to retest 60% of the first wave down. That's what we would look for over a long period of time, followed by 3 waves back to the downside. That's when we go back down to about the $20,000 dollar mark is where that's my prime zone. Okay, now we can go lower than that, but that's my prime zone for a 3-wave pullback. Okay, or even a wick down to about $10,000. But I want it to be, if we do that, I want it to be a very fast, quick move down. Not that far. I drew it too much there. Quick move down and then V-shaped recovery back up into this range where we find some resistance here, back up at $50,000 to $70,000, and then we flag out for some time. Okay, all of this, what I'm drawing here is years. This is years of price action here. But this is the way waves play out. This is the way corrective structures formed. My primary count, guys, is that we are in a multi-year bear market. We've already begun, and we're at the beginning stages of this first wave down, and we are now in the pullback stage of the first wave. Okay, that's where I think we are. However, that doesn't mean that is where we are in the wave. Okay, doesn't matter what Jim thinks, though. I'm going to offer you analysis of the wave structure based on my experiences, based on what I understand of wave structure analysis. I'm very good at it. Okay, guys, been doing this for years, and that doesn't mean what I think is always right. I'm not always right with what I think, but I am always right when it comes to the possibilities. Usually one of the scenarios that I share ends up playing out, and I try to prepare you. What I do here on this channel is prepare you for what to look for if different scenarios play out. I don't know why, but I got Microsoft asking me to restart my system there after an update. Let me take a sip of my coffee. I'll be right back. Okay, so I do believe that we are in a multi-year bear market. That's my belief, and we have some evidences that some things that we normally look for as Elliott wavers, that we got some signs of an ended wave. Okay. However, it doesn't mean it's done. But I do believe that we are in the B wave of a larger move. Okay. So in that context, just to zoom out just a little bit here, this would be the first wave down. We are in the second wave back to, I'm looking at 102, guys. 102 is my target zone. I'd like to see that. That doesn't mean we're going to hit it, but I think it's a good target zone. I'll show you how I came to that target zone when I do the micro analysis. So I'm going to move down to the 4-hour analysis here shortly. Just hang in there while I'm doing the macro analysis. Okay. But once this is finished, okay, it's going to take a while. Remember, I can draw waves really fast on the chart, but these waves take a lot of time to develop. Guys, I'm on the 3-day chart. That means every candle on this chart takes 3 days to develop. That means what I just drew right there could take weeks. I mean, this could take weeks to play out up here and to get to 102. I'm not saying we're going to 102 tomorrow. I'm not saying we're going this week. We could, but we could also spend the next week in this zone, this $93,000 to $95,000 zone. We could totally spend another couple of weeks between 90 and 95,000 with the way wave structure develops. And we'll talk about that in the micro analysis, okay? I'm just painting a big picture right now. You've got time, but that is something I am telling you. You've got time. You should not be FOMOing into Bitcoin right now. You should not be jumping into a long trade here, thinking, no, you're going to miss out on some big move. No. You have time, and we'll talk about some different scenarios. But anyway, I think we're in the B wave. I think it needs to finish. I'm targeting around 102,000. I think it's a good target zone to watch for. Then once that's finished, once that's complete, I'm looking for another wave to the downside, and I'm looking for some kind of 3-wave move. Okay. Now, here's the caveat to that. Now, we may not get something that simple, what I've just drawn there. Bitcoin has a tendency to be super complex at times. Though usually the first wave to the downside is rather alarming. In other words, this here, boom, everybody believes we're done, and then all of a sudden we get an alarming wave back down really fast and furious, and that alarms everybody. And then all of a sudden what you have is a very long time retrace that takes quite a while, and it's up and down in the range, messing around. And Bitcoin, once this first wave finishes, and I think it has a chance to finish in the next 3 to 6 months, okay, this particular wave, first wave down, I think 3 to 6 months, we're going to see the bottom of that sucker. And then we're going to spend the next 2 years ranging between somewhere about $50,000 to let's just say $90,000. We're going to range in there, and it's going to look something like this. It's just going to be nasty and take forever. Okay, more than likely, I'm assuming we're going to take a couple of years. Then, as we approach the next election cycle, more than likely, Trump is going to take the blame for the economy and how bad it is, and it's going to dump prior to the election of the 2028. More than likely, we're going to see it fall and find a bottom, or be in the process of going down somewhere around 2028 range would be my guess. So this may take a little longer than I've got it drawn, but if I had to guess, that's the way it's going to play out, more than likely. Okay, and that's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, 3-wave pullback. It's going to take quite a while. Then when we get to the end of the end of this dump, I think probably what's going to happen, if I had to guess, is there's going to be a long period of time where Bitcoin ranges and stays in the $20,000 to $40,000 range. In this range, it's going to be staying in here for quite a while, and it's eventually after the first, after the first 3 years of 2030 decade, probably we're going to start seeing things begin to move up, and by the time we get out of the 30s and into the 40s, we're probably going to start seeing Bitcoin begin to skyrocket against the dollar, because by that time the dollar is going to be dead and Bitcoin is going to be quite strong, because we'll probably have moved to a digital currency system by that time period. We will have already shifted, or we will be in the middle of the final stages of the shift into digital assets. And if Bitcoin's going to hang around, if it's not the ultimate crap coin, which I have a theory that it could be, but maybe not. And I also have arguments that say no, it's going to be around forever, or whatever. But really, this is just. I think blockchain technology is going to be around. That's what we're going to. But is Bitcoin going to be the mainstay? No, it's the. I don't know. I don't think so. I think a lot of people believe that. I don't know that. I don't know that it will. It could. It could be the very, and I can make the argument both ways. So I don't know in that respect, and don't listen to me ramble about it. But we don't know the future, and you have to remember that when you're making investments into crypto, you are investing based on speculation. Now, there's no doubt, there is no speculation that we're going to a digital economy and a digital world. There's no speculation on that. Everybody, you're right about that. But what you're not certain about is what form that digital economy is going to take. Is it going to take the form of CBDCs? Okay, what form is the crypto world going to take? And is it going to be crypto as we know it, or is it going to be some future version of blockchain where we have blockchain technology and we're utilizing the blockchain technology, but the crypto as you know it, this how do I say it, this wild west of crypto right now, is really just not going to last. As there's a gold rush for Bitcoin right now, and every other crypto that promises longevity, and everybody thinks, that's the next big project, and we need to invest in that and buy this coin and that coin. But at the end of the day, probably I'm predicting a crypto winter in the future, in which a lot of these coins, these thousands and thousands of S coins, and if you don't know what S coins are, just look up manure in the dictionary, and the slang term for that starts with an S. Okay, I'm trying to have a clean show here, but anyway, the point is these S coins, these crap coins, these horrible coins, yes, but they have to find. You're right, Robot. That they have died, but people are still betting that they're going to come back. Everybody's waiting for the next alt season, and I think that's just a fallacy. It doesn't mean we can't have an alt season. I just think that people are operating on the fallacy of, well, it happened like that before and all the other cycles, why wouldn't it happen this time? And the reason why it would act differently in this cycle than it has the other cycles is because we've already finished the wave cycle. The wave cycle is done, or at least one wave from being done. One of the two. It's one of the two options. We're either one wave away from being done, or it is finished, and we're now in the correction cycle, which is going to take years. Okay. So yeah, I don't know, but I think if Bitcoin is correcting and going down, I think what's going to happen is that all these S coins they're going to go to zero. They're going to die. A lot of these projects are going to finally fail, and there's going to be a culling of the crypto market. So again, you have to understand this is the wild west of investment, right? And so you're betting on what you think is the certainty of Bitcoin's existence and future. I think it's right to say blockchain technology has a pretty strong future. But I'm not certain Bitcoin, though I can have this argument back and forth. We're not 100% certain that Bitcoin is going to be the crypto of the future. We know that we're in the infantile stages of that kind of economy, and it's being developed, right? And so, what Bitcoin is the on-ramp. It's what has been used. Guys, you don't even know who created Bitcoin. Satoshi Nakamoto, right? Nobody knows who he is. Okay, nobody knows, and so the fact of the matter is nobody knows, and the fact of the matter is that's just a farce, really. I mean, I think governments created it. Why? And then pumped it. Why? To give it value, right? To create a belief system around this thing. The belief system is, look how much it's worth. It's worth $93,000 if you have, and that's real money. But the fact is, the money that you have that it's worth, that it's compared to, isn't even real money. It's paper. What this 93 pieces of paper, 93,000 pieces of paper that Bitcoin is valued at? Come on. The US dollar and the world currencies don't have any real value other than, here it is, what people believe it's valued at. Because real money is not paper. Real money is gold and silver. That's been historically money for ages and ages. Real money is gold and silver. And so the financial system historically has been rooted and grounded in gold and silver. And so our fiat system, our paper system, has the promise of a rooting and grounding in gold, but we've lost our way. We've lost our footing. Now, all that is propping up the current economic house of cards, the only thing that's holding up this house of cards, is people's belief that this paper that you exchange every day for food and gasoline and commodities and services of people, is your belief that it has any value. What happens when the fundamental belief, of the current system is undermined by some calamity or some mass global event that takes out the bottom card, and then that house of cards that the economic system is propped up on completely falls? What is everybody going to run to at that point? Where's everybody going to transfer their money to? What system are people, I need to put my money in a safe place. So a place of value, a place of real worth. Well, let me show you the chart of where the big boys, you see, everybody else in the world does it late, right? Everybody else in the world is doing it late. But the big boys, they've been putting their money in what's real. Let me show you the chart. This chart that I'm about to show you is where the big boys have been putting their money. Come on, where's my chart? Why is my chart not on my screen? Oh, there it is. I'm like, dang, where's my... Here it is, guys. Here it is. Do you see where money is going right now? This is the gold chart, guys. And a lot of you are looking at this gold chart saying, "Oh, gold's getting ready to crash." Gold is just getting started, guys. It's just getting started on the parabolic move. There's going to be a pullback, and it's going to go, and it's going to keep going more than likely. It's going to keep rising. Why? How do I know? I don't know anything, number one, but why do I think that? A couple things. Right now, fundamentally, markets are tanking. Every market is tanking. Let's look at the U.S. Look at the U.S. dollar for a moment. Okay, there's U.S. dollar. That's where the U.S. dollar is going. Okay, it's not done. We're due for a correction, and that correction could take months to play out. Okay, right? We're gonna get a correction, but there's more downside coming. Okay, that's coming. So the dollar is going down. What does that mean? That means the world is selling the dollar. What does that mean? They're taking their dollars, the cash that you have in your wallet and in the bank, that cash, those paper dollars, and they're moving it to some other commodity, something else. They're buying other things. So the dollar is going down. So the question is, okay, and we know that this is happening in masses because the DXY or the dollar index is just not just going down a little bit. It's not just correcting to the downside. It is being sold off right now, hard and fast. It's okay. So that means the people who have dollars don't believe the dollar is a safe place to hold their money. So they want to exchange the dollar for something else. So I'm just talking general economics here, guys. This is basic economics. So where's the money going? Well, usually when you see a dollar going down, that means the money is flowing out of the dollar and into something else. Usually it'll flow into the NASDAQ or into the S&P, and you'll see markets of the world going up as the dollar's going down. But what we've noticed here is while the dollar is going down and going down hard in the same way and at the same time, okay, the S&P has been going down as well. That means the money isn't moving from the dollar to the market. Money's not going from the dollar to the market, because the markets are selling off too. So we got markets selling and the dollar is selling. People aren't buying the dollar. How do you buy the dollar? You sell markets and you exchange it for dollars. So where's the money going? Well, you see it in the chart. It's going into gold right now. Gold is being bought like crazy. Okay? I mean, that's what's happening. Why? Why are people going into gold? Why? Because they're scared as crap. Because the big boys know that something big's going down. See, gold is not going up because it has more value. No. Well, I mean, yes, demand is going up. Why? Because gold is a safe haven for money. What you do is you put your money into gold, not to make money on that exchange, though you may make some. It's a matter of preserving what you have. And there'll be a time once the calamity is over and the economic system is reset to the digital system, that money is going to move out of gold and into whatever the new system is. But that system has to have something has to happen in order to give confidence that that's a safe move. So in other words, the people with money, the people that move the markets, that's not you and me, guys. The retail trader, we are not the ones who move the markets. The banks move the markets. Big corporations move the markets. The people with billions and trillions of dollars, they move the markets. We don't move the markets. So that means something safe and stable has to be created in order for that money to flow into it. Okay? We don't have, let me just ask you guys a question. Do you think Bitcoin is safe? Looking at its history and the way it moves, would you call Bitcoin a safe bet? Not from sentiment, but just looking at the chart and its extreme movements. Or would you call Bitcoin volatile? Would you call crypto safe? A safe bet? Oh yeah, just buy Bitcoin right now and hold it. I mean, if you're okay with it going down to $20,000 from $90,000 and losing 80% of your investment, or at least seeing 80% of the value of what you bought go down, if you're okay with that, yeah, probably, maybe, more than likely, eventually it'll be back up to 93 and go to $200,000. But you're going to have to wait 5 years, 4 years for that, 5 years, 6 years, whatever. Is that the way traders want to see their money? They want to see 80% reduction in the value? No. That's not safe. So money's going to flow. Money's been pumping crypto. Why? To give you a reason to buy it so they can sell it. You're always late to the game. You're buying when they're selling. And you're selling when they're buying. That's usually the way it works. And they need willing buyers so they can sell. And they'll create their narratives, and you'll buy at the top, because the narrative is, look, the U.S. government, we're getting Bitcoin and we're going digital and this and that and Trump and blah blah blah, and the narrative. But the chart just tells the whole story. This chart that you're looking at right now is telling the story. What's it saying? Money's moving out of the markets and out of the dollar and into gold. That's what the charts are saying. That means the big boys, the people that move the markets, they're putting their money in a safe place. And you'll notice that Bitcoin, while the dollar is going down, okay, while markets are going down, Bitcoin is also going down. Does that mean Bitcoin's going to go down forever? No. Timing is often the hardest thing in the world. In fact, we have scenarios where we can get up here to 150K, 145, 150K. I already talked about it, right? Are we doing that right now? I don't know. I'm not here to say yes or no. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to 150K. I don't like that count. I see enough reason to say we've probably topped. But that doesn't mean price action is going to be easy. Price action is always hard. And remember, we're trading with risk management. We don't know the future. Okay, so the current system is dying, guys. It's dying. And we're living in a unique time in history where we're shifting from one economic system to another. We're moving into the digital world. And we're in the death throes, but the system has to die. There are, guys, I'm just here to tell you, not to put fear in your mind, but there are scary times coming to this world in the very near future. And you should be preparing in some fashion, in some way. Now, it's impossible to prepare for everything that can come, but you should do some basic preparations because there's an economic collapse on the horizon. It's coming. I don't know. In the next 10 years. Probably. And we're nearing the 100th anniversary of the Great Depression era. We're nearing that, and money moves in cycles, and this is a 100-year cycle. But not only that, we're also in 1,000-year cycles. We're at the dawn of a new millennium. Yes, guys, we just began. We're in the infantile stages of the 2000 millennium. So in other words, we just finished 1,000 years, right? Okay. Okay. Anyway, so we're in a unique time period. Anyway, chart. I've offered the macro analysis here for the bear. Boom, boom, boom. That's probably what we're looking at. We'll get some kind of 3-wave correction and then get 3 more down, looking for 10 to 20K in the next 3, 4, 5 years. Okay? That's what I think is happening. Something like that. All right. What else could be happening? The bullish look, I've already shared it, but the bullish look is we could be heading up from here to 145K range. Now, what would that wave look like as it went? Well, we have to analyze. We have to say, okay, what is going on with this current wave? What's happening? What is this? What is this wave? What is it? Okay. It's one of two things here. First off, it could be part of a flat. And if it's part of a flat, then it's pointing to the downside next. But if it's bullish, then this finished something, which I don't think it did, but we can say, okay, it finished something. And this is the first wave of a bullish wave. We get some kind of small pullback here, retesting this breakout zone, Could even come down here, and then we're going up to finish. Oh man, sorry, my mouse is doing funky things. Then we're going up to finish our wave, 145K. So in other words, this could be a wave 1. We get a correction. It should be fast. When I say fast, I mean weeks, not months and years, but should be relatively quick. Okay, it's not going to happen immediately. It's going to take weeks to develop. So we have time to analyze this wave. We have time. Okay, and then we could see it go. So that's the bullish look. Okay. Am I here to tell you that this is going to go up straight up today, tomorrow? No, I don't think that's going to happen at all. Everything takes a lot longer than you anticipate. All right, so that's the bullish look and the not so bullish look. I'm looking at XRP because I'm in a trade, so I want to make sure I take care of it. Okay. What else is happening? Microanalysis. Here we go. 4-hour chart. I'm seeing this right here as a flat that's probably finished, or it has one more push to the upside to go. Once this is finished, there'll be another push, and I like the $102,000 range if we're going to get that push. We don't have to get it. I'm going to give you a nasty count in just a minute. It's my nasty count, so hang in here for the nasty count. But let's look at targets here. We're going to pull the fibs, the extensions of this, and we'll notice that that we just hit the 1618 extension. It's a beautiful area for a reversal, potentially. Okay, so we just hit the 1618 extension. We have divergence on the small time frame. On the when I say small time frame, I mean 4 hour. Okay, in this case, right, you'll see the higher high made there and the lower high made in the RSI. But what we have developing is hidden bullish divergence. This could be a wave 4, in which case you're gonna see another push to the high once this wave finishes. Whenever it finishes, should finish somewhere in this region potentially. If it's gonna go, we do have a wave 4 or 5 look up here, so it could be done. All right. If that's a flat and it's done and it's finished, then what we could have, here's a nasty count for you guys. I mean, is we took that high, didn't we? Okay. This wave could come crashing straight down to 68K fairly fast, and it might be starting now. A, B, C. 68 to 70K range, taking out this low. And what that could be, here, this is the nasty count, is the B wave of a larger A, B, and then we get the move up to 102 C. That is such a nasty count. Oh, that is so nasty if that played. Okay, because basically it's going up fast. Everybody's excited, gets bullish, and then boom, comes crashing down, takes out the low, and then goes straight back up with relative speed. Okay, relative speed. And again, I don't mean in a day. I'm just saying, as far as charts are concerned, it wouldn't take forever to go sideways. Okay, this is forever going sideways. No, I'm talking about it went up pretty quick and coming down pretty quick and then going right back up pretty quick. In weeks, not months. Okay. All right. Now, that's the nasty count. What would that be? Well, we'd still be dealing with our W. This would be X and Y. Okay, still be looking at that three-wave move, just the B wave or the X wave taking a kind of a nasty view. It also could be instead of a WXY, it could be an ABC, in which case this final wave, this goes up with relative speed, and then all of a sudden it comes down with relative speed, and this could be A, B, and then C. And it comes down relatively fast. Again, we'd be done by July, August of this year with the first wave, getting down to 50K. All right. That means what this would do is would create a lot of volatility, up, down, expanding the range. Because every time it goes up, the bulls get excited. Every time it goes down, the bears get excited, right? And they're just collecting liquidity from the traders on opposite end of the spectrum, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay. Yeah, what would be the catalyst? I mean, anybody's guess, but remember, every black swan that's ever happened, nobody's been able to predict it. Why? Because it's the black swan. So, yeah, you don't have to know. It could be some collapse of USDT, for instance. USDT could fail for some reason, but I think that would pump Bitcoin because people would be moving out of USDT into Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin's the safe haven, not USDT. But it would be a temporary boost. Why? Because maybe USDT fails for some reason. Money flows out of USDT into Bitcoin and then flows out of Bitcoin again, precipitating a major dump into whatever the safe haven is, what everybody says is safe. Whatever the narrative is at the time, whether it's USDC instead or RUSD, which is the Ripple USD stable coin, or whatever stable coin is being created, because there is talk in our government, in the U.S. government, about stable coin regulation. Stable coin, don't you hear that ramping up? So I think probably what's going to precipitate this volatility in the market of crypto is going to be some kind of black swan in the stable coin realm, would be my guess. That would be my main guess. Great question. Harris, I don't have my glasses on, so I couldn't read your name. Yeah, it's a great question. That's what I would think. It'd probably be a stable coin thing. All right, Laplation, let's see what you're saying here. Question, the current pump that we have, is it possible that that's part of the entire wave one of the B wave correction? Yeah, it could be, but I don't think, yes, it could be the first wave of B. So what you're saying is we get a complex B. So this is basically boom right here, and then you get some kind of three wave, and then you get another three wave, and we get real complex before we come down. Absolutely, that's possible, Laplation. Yes. And that's why it's really, really hard to trade. So that's that. For that reason, to be honest with you, I am a scalper. I do scalp the market because of that very thing. If you spend all your time trying to catch the big moves of the market, you never really catch it, because you never know when it's coming and how it's coming. You're always just like, oh, this looks like it's gonna go, and then I mean, like, look, dude. When this thing happened here, oh, it looks like it's going to go. Give us a little pullback, and here we go. No, it came all the way down and took the low. It's just up, down, up, down. So what I try to do, my philosophy as a trader, is I try to make money in every wave. I don't try to catch every move of every wave. I try to find a place within the wave to make some money. That's how I approach crypto. That's why I don't hold crypto, because I don't believe it's a safe haven. I don't think it's a wise investment over the years, especially not now with the prices. No, I would rather be holding gold and silver at this moment if I wanted to preserve my capital, which I do. But what I have as far as trading set aside is I trade, but I'm in and out of the market as quickly as I can, because this market is so stinking volatile. and it is so up and down. Okay, so we want to protect our money, right? We want to put it in a safe place, and so this market is so up and down. We need to just make sure that we protect ourselves from the volatility of it. All right, and so for me, my strategy is to get in and to get out as quickly as possible in the safest places possible. And I'm not greedy. I take my profit and I then get out. And then I look for another place to get in. If you need a strategy, if you want some ideas on trading, if you can master your psychology, you can trade this market and make money no matter whether it's going up or down, and you don't care. Then all of a sudden you're looking at the market. You're like, I'm not worried about whether it's going to go up or not. I just look for trades within this market so that I can make some money. So we're looking to make some money on on the waves, not make every dime you can make on every wave. It's just unrealistic. So today I traded XRP, okay, for instance, and my entry for XRP was actually in this zone right here, okay. Right here in this zone. They stop hunted me. I did not hit my stop, however, but they tried, and then boom, and so I took this long, and when I saw the signs that I look for profit, then I take my profit. Okay. Harris, I think the same. I think all the markets are going to tank. All the money of every market is going to move out of these markets and into gold. And gold is going to have the most massive pump we've ever seen. But that's not going to last forever. That's going to be happening while the world's economies are tanking. And there's going to be years of pain coming in markets as well as in the economy. And there's going to be a lot of pain and a lot of sadness coming. I'm not trying to be a FUD guy. I'm being realistic based on what I'm seeing. And I want people to prepare. I want people to get ready for what's coming. But what I see coming is a shift in the complete economic system. Now, how is that going to happen? How is that economic shift going to happen? Well, the people have to be crying for a solution. So there needs to be a problem, and the government has to react and come in with the solution. And the people are going to be like, yes, do it, because we need relief from this pain. It's amazing what people do in order to escape pain. They'll sacrifice freedom and sacrifice things willingly just to escape pain. I understand that that's a human thing. And so, I think some of the patriots of I don't know if it was Thomas Jefferson or Benjamin Franklin or I think Ben Franklin is in my mind as the one who said it, but the nature of the quote is those who sacrifice their freedoms for safety get neither, end up getting neither, something to that effect. You sacrifice your freedom for safety. You won't have freedom anymore, and you also won't have safety. So we have to, with the patriots of the United States, give me liberty or give me death. Either live free or die. Live free or die, basically, is the point. Because some people value their life over pain. And so that's the way humans generally are. It's very few people that can look beyond the pain and see the reality of this world. I mean, Jesus even mentioned it. Broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many find it. Narrow is the way that leads to life, and few find it. Why? Why is that? Because in order to understand life, you have to be able to look at the temporary nature of this life and the eternal nature of the next, and value which one are you going to value, the temporary life that you're living on this earth or the eternal life that you're going to be living after. And so you make your decisions based on what you can see and the pain that you're experiencing, and that's not good. That's not a good way to make a decision. But that's what the world's going to cry out for. They're going to cry out for a solution. And that solution's government, please come in and fix it. And the government's going to say, okay, we got the solution. Go to crypto.gov and set up your crypto wallet. And we're going to put $3,000 of funny money in there. We're going to program those wallets to have $3,000 right now. Go spend it at your local grocery store and go spend it at your local thing and this and that. And you got 6 months to spend it or it goes away. But we're going to get the economy moving. So go spend your money. And it's going to be free money from the government. It's going to be programmable money. And that's where we're headed. And the people are going to be like, yay, y'all fixed my problem. I can go buy my food now. And the economy's now moving. And everybody's accepted all of a sudden out of the death of fiat currency. All of a sudden, what's happened? People have accepted crypto and the digital world that we're going to. And then all of a sudden we have no freedom when it comes to money. And we've been sold a bill of goods when it comes to Bitcoin and that Bitcoin is going to be the decentralized currency of the world where they can't control it anymore. Well, once we go to a digital economy, they're going to control everything. Everything. Yeah, Laplation, $7,000 to $10,000, absolutely no problem for gold. Gold is heading very, very high, and we're going to see it skyrocket. We're just in the beginning stages of the big gold boom that is coming. So, guys, I'm not here to scare you. I'm just here to be real with you. You're going to get real technical analysis. You're going to get real. You're not going to get Moon Boy. You're going to get real here. Okay, so welcome to the channel. Glad you just tuned in, JQ. We've been talking about just the macro state of affairs and what this is. All right, guys, I've given you my nasty count. Let's talk about a simple count, a simpler count. What if we just get a final move up to this range right here, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom! It finishes 102 range, and then we come down for 3 more, just like that, something like that. That's what I'm thinking. So that's what this could be, and this is part of a flat. This is your W wave. This is your X wave looking for the Y wave. Okay? That's generally the way the first wave of major corrections play, but that would just be the first wave. Okay? Then once that finishes, we would zoom out and you'd be able to see what that is in context. Zooming out, that would be the first wave. You get a rally, boom, and then a second wave. I mean, that's just the overall map of corrections. If you want to see the way major corrections have played out, just go back and look at the chart. Let's look at the run-up, for instance, the run-up of 2019. The run-up of 2019 was the wave 1 of the third wave, okay? So 2019, and that run-up, where is it? There it is right there, this wave, boom. Let's just look at the structure of a major correction. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 5 waves. Okay, 1, 2. Then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Or this whole thing is 4, right? And then that's 5. Either way, there's 5 waves. It's finished. It's done. You got a 5-wave move. What now? Well, you get a correction. But how did that correction take place? You had an initial 3-wave move off the top. Boom, boom, boom. This is where I think we are right now. Boom, boom, boom. 3 waves. Okay? So this is the wave I think we're in currently. What happened next? 3 waves back down. Boom. Okay? So this is your W wave of a macro correction. Here's your X wave right there, and this is the Y wave. It's kind of a hard wave. Why is it hard? Because this, and by the way, the X wave could be here, but I'm going to call that the X wave because I think your Y wave is a flat. 3 down. Oh, come on. 3 down to there, 3 up to there, 5 waves down. Boom. And so basically that's a WXY correction. WXY. So you need an initial wave of 3 complex waves, a quick retrace, and then 3 complex waves back down. Okay. So that's kind of the map as an example of the way Bitcoin likes to top in quick moves up and then correct. Okay. You'll notice the first run up of 2817 right to here. But then you had an initial 3 waves that were very quick. Then we had a very shallow retrace. Boom. That was 3 waves there. And then 3 waves here. Okay. And that's a triangle in there. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. With a triangle in there. So that was a nasty correction. See how complex that was? 3, 3, 3. It was real complex, and this middle wave was not a big retrace. Okay, so notice that the X wave is not a deep retrace. So the best chance you have, in my opinion, is this retrace. That's your chance to get out, right? If you're going to get out. We are currently in that wave, in my opinion. We're currently, this is the chance that people have who are holding Bitcoin. This is the area to consider taking profit on long-term investments. I'm not here to give financial advice. I'm just saying if that's the wave that we're in, you have an initial wave down. Come on. Boom. A 3-wave retrace, and then 3 more waves are coming to the downside. And that's the first wave. The second wave may be shallow. It may be, or it could be deep, but it could be shallow. And then you get another 3 waves. Boom, boom, boom. And it takes a lot of years. Laplation, I think that's a fine. I mean, that's my point here. That correction is real possible. Something like it. Okay? All right, so that's kind of what I think we're doing. That's what I'm... But, again, for me, we're in take profit zone. If you're not sure you should take profit, then what you should do is draw this line on your chart. And if that line gets broken, okay, you should be cutting. You should be taking. You should like be cutting your losses. Robot, if you have the right mindset, yeah, it's a trader's paradise. But every market's a trader, and Bitcoin's a trader's paradise for sure. Absolutely, you just need a strategy to trade it. Elliott wave is not the strategy for trading, guys. It's the strategy for analysis and understanding how waves move. But it's not the strategy for trading. No. Just saying, guys. Just saying. Okay. I love Elliott wave. And I do Elliott wave analysis every week for you guys. But I'm not here. This is not trading. This is just talking about wave structure analysis. So let's boil my Bitcoin ideas down to 3 ideas. Okay. This right here could be a B wave of a big flat that's getting ready to come down hard. 5 waves down. Boom. Then all of a sudden, what you've got is 3, 3, 5. And then we go up quick. Boom. And that basically becomes A, B, C. And then we go down quick. That's a nasty count. So that's one count. The next count, we're already in. This is the flat. We could be finished right now, or we need another hit to the high, 102 range, and then 3 waves down. Sorry, that's poor drawing, but you get the idea. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Okay. Or this is a bullish count. We're in the final stages of this wave to the upside that we need some kind of 3 wave shallow retrace, and here we go. We're going to the moon. 145K. Ending diag, Eddie. I'm not seeing it, my man. I'm not seeing it. It's too early to tell, but I don't think so. I don't think so. But I'm not here to poo-poo your idea, but I'm not on board with that idea quite yet. I'll have to see other things first before I see an ending diag. Oh, small time frame, 15 minutes. Oh, maybe. Let's check it out. On Bitcoin, yeah, I mean, if we get an ending diag, yeah, this is going to be some kind of. Do you mean ending 3, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that? Ending diag, or an ending diag to the upside, something like that. To the upside. Okay, let's check it out here. Yeah, I mean the ending diag would have to be. This would have to be 1, 2 of the ending diag. So we need 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Yeah, I think that's real likely. I think that's possible. Something like that. This could be a wave 4 that we're just getting, or a wave. Yeah, that's it. That's not a bad idea. Let's see if it plays. I'm not sure if it's going to play, but yeah, it's not horrible at all. That could be an ending diag for our move, and it gets us up to 102 range, and then down we go. Down we go for 3 more waves. Boom, 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 something like that, right? So that would be W. There would be X. There's Y. Something like that. Of course, it's not going to be that simple, but there you go. That's the idea. Those are the wave structure counts that we're looking for. Okay. So yeah, let me. I wanted to talk about how I get targets here. So a couple ways to get targets. I pulled the extension here. So we're going to pull the extension of this as a flat. So if I pull that as wave A, oh come on, wave A right there, B. Notice the 1618 extension is sitting right there at 102 roughly. 101. So the 1618 extension of that move from here is up here at the 101. So that's a nice target. And then watch what happens when I pull the retrace fibs. So if I pull the retrace of this move, okay, from here to here, notice what that 1618 is confluent with. It's confluent with the 786 retrace. So the 786 is confluent with the 1618. So that's 2 concepts there. Thirdly, okay, if let's see what else. That was the retrace. That was the extension. Yeah. So I mean that's pretty much it right there. Looking at those extensions right there. So the 102 range, and it's also congruent with the top of this wave structure, right? You see these waves right here. This little liquidity zone, taking that zone out. Okay. So I like the 102 range here. So if we get a move up here to 102 over the next week or two, I think that's a real possibility. Okay. I like that idea. I do. It doesn't mean we have to go there. I just think that's a decent zone. If we're going to continue up, I'd be watching the 102 for a sell in the sell range in there. Okay. That's a decent area to be looking for, taking profit and selling if this continues up over the next week or so. All right. What else could it be? I mean, that's pretty much the analysis there for Bitcoin, guys. I mean, that's pretty much the way I'm looking at it. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to go up to 102 or if we're going to come down to 70 or 68 first with that nasty count that I shared. And then we have a V shape up to 102. Because if that happened, everybody would be like, oh, here we go. Boom. And then all of a sudden we dump again. That would be so hard for the crypto world. I tell you what, it would just be so volatile. But that's my nasty count. I see that as a real possibility. Because this, excuse me, this price action, guys, this price action right here has been nasty, real nasty. So the algorithm's been getting harder, and they've been doing a lot more liquidity grabbing. So I see that. I see those possibilities. Let's do some quick correlation analysis here. Let me show you what I'm seeing with this is Ethereum here. What I notice here with Ethereum is that we had a wave down, and then we came and took the top out. We had a wave down here, came and took the top out. So we had a nice corrective wave. Now we got very similar, same kind of wave shape here. I think there's a good chance that's done. We get a little bit of a correction and continuation down. That means there's a possibility that we are finished. This correction is done, and we're on our way to the downside. I think that's a possible. So that nasty count could be coming. We come down here, comes back up, and comes back down. We might have an ending diag working here in Ethereum. So that's a possibility. All right, so looking at XRP, with XRP, 4-hour analysis, what do you notice here, guys? What do you notice? This looks like 3 waves. Boom. We could be coming down here, all the way down here. So if Bitcoin tanks and starts going very, very deep, you could see XRP tanking with it, okay? And then all of a sudden, what do you got here? What is this? How do you count this wave? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 waves down maybe, and then we look to go up. Yeah, they come and grab this liquidity down here, and come and hit the 618, boom, and then go up, and all of a sudden that's a 3-wave shape. 3-wave shape back to the upside, and then it tanks again. So that's correlating with Bitcoin, where we dump, come back down to these levels while Bitcoin comes down and hits the low. We get a pump back up to this level, okay? XRP XRP dumps here, pumps back up to here. And then what happens when Bitcoin eventually goes back down in 3? Well, XRP goes down with it as well. And so you can kind of see that wave structure correlating there. And looking at what you've got on the screen, you've got this boom, okay? Boom, boom. There's 3. This would be part of a 3-wave correction to that wave. And then all of a sudden we go down for 3 more. And I see XRP as finished. We're not going up higher. I think we're setting up for something big to the downside, though we could see a real rally coming. So my nasty count is becoming rapidly my first count, what I believe is it's a very nice count. So I want to see if this is going to continue down, pull back, and continue down, and go over the next week or so. Is this wave going to start down? If it does, guys, look for this low to be taken, and then look for a V-shaped recovery back to the upside. I think that's a real possibility. Okay, so again, we do this correlation analysis, say, okay, are the charts kind of rhyming? So far, I can see the rhyming, my nasty count is rhyming with what the wave shape of Ethereum. Okay, here's how Ethereum, so while Bitcoin goes down and hits that low, Ethereum comes down, hits this low, okay, then what happens? It comes back up slow and careful, boom, and then it goes down again, and all of a sudden you got this ending diag here or something like that. So and you can kind of just see this volatility. So that might be playing. And you zoom out a little bit and say, okay, what's that doing in the grand scheme of things? Well, that's finishing this this wave. So we finish this wave, and then we get an X wave, and then a Y wave. And then, or that's Bitcoin's X and Y wave, and then, of course, I drew it down to 0. Sorry, that's not correct. Let me draw it a little bit better here. So we finish, get a bigger correction, come down, something like that. Then all of a sudden we finished a correction. That then we start seeing Ethereum go to the moon. We know DeFi and we know Ethereum. is the future of money, guys. That's what we know. So I see this crypto winter coming over the next, but I see if Ethereum gets down here, you really need to consider Ethereum, as long as the macro view of Ethereum holds as a potential investment for the long-term future. I kind of believe in Ethereum based upon what it is built and the signs of the future. It appears that Ethereum is the future of money. The DeFi network is. So, all right. I know a lot of you are betting on XRP. Yeah, Salvador. Yeah, don't pay attention to. Don't pay attention to how I drew that exactly, for sure. Hey, glad the same minds are looking the same way at Ethereum, because that's the way she's looking. Okay, all right. So that's Ethereum. That's kind of where I think we are in the wave. So there's a rally coming. There's a Bitcoin rally coming, but I think it's, this rally, boom, and then we're going to see a larger rally later. So, or another rally. So just realize that we could be in a volatile area on the market, guys, because there's a lot of people still betting on it, on Bitcoin to go up. Okay, all right. So I'm bearish, guys. I'm not trying to be, but I think the wave structure is pointing me bearish. But I'm also bullish. There's a chance, by the way, XRP could break up and out of here. Okay, so if XRP wants to break up and out of here, it certainly can. I did take a long today, but this is looking very three-wave-ish. It's looking very finished. I don't like the way it's looking to continue holding it. I've got divergence. It's not strong divergence there, so I won't talk about that. But yeah, so yeah, this could break up and out for sure. But this also looks very three-wave-ish. This could come down for another wave. So ready for that. So yeah, I like my nasty count, guys. I do. What do you think of my nasty count? How many of you guys like that nasty count? This one right here, down and then up. Boom. We often go, because I've been calling for 102, but I've been also calling for 68. Okay, and then so we broke up away from 68, and I'm like, maybe we're not going to hit 68. Watch them come down and hit 68, and then go up and hit 102. I'm telling you what, I have this saying, and it's all the time. They often hit your price targets, but not in the way you expect it. I hear you, Ricky. I hear you, buddy. All right. Well, guys, that's the analysis. Let me take a couple of requests. I got a couple. I don't have energy for another 45 minutes of charting here. I've enjoyed chatting with you. Let me look at the S&P. Let's see. Laplation, who asked me about the NASDAQ or S&P? Let me see. I saw that. Chemo's not here to tell me about my charts. So I'm reading the chat. I remember seeing it in the chat. I just can't find it. Okay, oh, there it is. NASDAQ and S&P 500. Sure. Yeah. So let's look at those. I already kind of looked at the S&P, but I'll just take a peek at it again. So the SPX here got a big old wick here on the monthly wick. So let's see how this month closes. I'll bet you we have some dumpy days coming, but I doubt it's going to wick and hold. Let's look at the 4-hour. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're getting a rally. You see this rally right here? That we're getting some kind of rally like that. Okay, and then more down coming probably. Or we're going to go, I suppose this could be a wave 4 of something, and we could be going up for one more wave. Final wave. Final hit to the high. Blow off top and then sell off. Which one do you think? Which one do you think? The NASDAQ, same thing, except NASDAQ looks a lot more done on the macro than S&P does. Yeah, I mean, this was my analysis before. I think we just hit a finished wave 5. This is the first wave down. Obviously, it's going to be a deep retrace. There's going to be more coming. So whenever this finishes, there'll be more down coming, some kind of a multi-year-long correction back to the upside, more down coming. It's going to take a while, guys, but the markets are getting ready to sell off. But it's going to take a bit. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen tomorrow. So you got time, but not a whole lot of time, because in the next 4 or 5 years, guys, scary times are coming to this world. So, all right. Guys, I've enjoyed being with you. Thanks for stopping in to Sunday Night Charts. I hope I enjoyed chatting with you as well. Eddie Bo, good talking with you, man. Appreciate it. Ricky, be safe driving out there. LaPlation, great ideas, man. Appreciate it. Enjoyed chatting with you. Again, don't get too bearish. Try to stay as neutral as possible. There is that bullish count still out there. 145 is possible. But wave structure right now has me thinking down. I'll let you know when that changes. I'll title it, I've changed my mind, okay? So let's see how this week goes. If you want some daily analysis on the wave structure, come on into the Discord. I do a video every day. All right. See you later, guys. Have a good night. Take her easy. Bye-bye.